Welcome to the ReActivated Flame webinar. And this is a masterclass that has been designed around what I've been running a few times now with the Reactivated Man. And there has been a desire for people, I should say, to be able to experience this no matter what gender you are. And this photo here was taken almost a year ago in Bali when I was at a men's initiation journey, which I actually just led in Melbourne about 3 weeks ago. And it's a 7-day deep dive, taking men deep into what is it that alivens us in our head, our heart, and our balls. And there is parts of this work that are going to be expressed through what we're going to do in the webinar today. And I'm just going to ask your permission to share some information over the next 90 minutes or so. And then after that, there is going to be an offer. And if you felt any benefit on what I've shared with you during the day, that I have permission to share this with you. So if you could just put a comment into the chat and just say that you're okay with that, maybe put a 1 and let me know that you're okay with me actually sharing something at the end if you felt that this was worthwhile for you. If you didn't feel that there was any worth in what I'm sharing, then don't feel obliged in any way. And even if you felt great worth in what I'm sharing, there is no obligation to sign into the package that I'm going to be offering afterwards. But I just wanted to be upfront with you from the very beginning that this webinar is leading into a 7-week program that I'm running. And I would love for you to be part of that. But I want you to know who I am and how I work, and see if there's this resonance of how we could work together, because it is unique how this dynamic between two people, how my vibration is that in resonance with your vibration, and how can we work together to really bring this light that's inside of us to expand that and really allow for both of our fires to light up. Okay, so just bear with me for 1 second. I'm just going to check if there's anyone here in the chat that wants to join in. Okay, great, got that. Here we go. All right. So first of all, again, I just want to really acknowledge each and every one of you for being here today, because I know that time is valuable, and your time and my time is valuable. And we are here for a very limited amount of time, right? I am now 50, and I might have another 50, 60, 70. My goal is actually to live to 137. That's what I'm looking at. And I think with the tech that we've got coming up, that this is pretty realistic. And at the same time, I'm witnessing how fast time has gone. And it is important for me to really make the most of these moments. So I don't want this to just be filled with my dialogue. I really want to, make sure that there is some juice in here for you and you're getting something out of it. So let me begin. Here we go. And this quote, more than anything, really speaks to me and how I like to work. Okay. And it really speaks to this idea of we are love, right? So let me just speak to the quote. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built up against it. Because we are love. I truly believe that this frequency that holds all of life together is love, that our natural harmonic is love. But over time, we're told and expressed and enforced to minimize this, to shrink this. We're told that we're not safe. We're told that our love is not wanted. We're told that our love needs to be shown in a different way just so that we can fit in. And that isn't something that I've been great at in my life, and fitting in. And I don't think we should fit in. And this idea of belonging, where we feel like we fit, is very different than trying to fit in, where we're physically, mentally, emotionally changing who we are and how we are to try and fit in, as opposed to being who we are and then finding our tribe. Birds of a feather, they flock together. And when we resonate our natural vibration, then we come into harmonics of the people around us. But if we're not in our own natural vibration and we're pretending to be something else, then we come into harmonics with people that actually are not our natural vibration. They're this pseudo vibration of who we want to be, but not who we are. And my invitation is for you to relax into who you are so that you can really express your true nature and find your tribe around you. And why am I doing this work? And as I mentioned, this was based on the ReActivated Man program. And one of the main killers for men on the planet is suicide, and especially in Australia. And these are the figures that 6 men a day are committing suicide. And suicide for me is this place of absolute despair where I can only imagine the barriers and the confrontation that these men must be feeling to be wanting to take their lives. And this is not only one of the main killers, the next main killer, don't have a slide for, is prostate cancer. And what that tells me is that men are either feeling hopeless or disconnected from their sexuality, and their sexuality is where their power is. And this is what we're going to be talking about in connecting to our flame and connecting to our power, connecting to our balls. And there is this stigma around being connected to our head and our heart. That's fine, but to be connected to our balls, that is a no-no. That is this primal thing that men do that is toxic in the world, and I am not a big advocate for that at all, because it is our nature to procreate. It is, how we got here was through our parents using their primal sexual energy to create us. And that is a natural part that we want to step into. And like I was mentioning, the main causes of suicide is just stress in life. And for a lot of people, there is a lot of stress in life. Maybe it's a trauma that has created this scenario that just feels like there is no hope. A mental illness, a physical illness, there can be drug and alcohol abuse, and sometimes the living circumstances just become so poor that there feels like there's no way out. And what I truly believe is there is always a choice. There is always a way out, but we need support. And, it can take 2 people to create a scenario, and it can take 2 people to help us get out of that scenario. So that's why I'm here. Maybe I can be that second person for you to help you look at the world from a different perspective and see that there is this power, there is this beauty, this magnificence that resides inside of you. So why you're here? You're here, well, why I'm here is to support the activation of people globally. Right? And this is part of it. This is part of what I want to do. And this picture is actually taken of me at top of Mount Agung in Bali. Went there many, many years ago, and to feel so free, to be standing literally above the clouds. This could be done with AI now, but this is an authentic photo of me, and I just felt incredible, even though it took me 6 hours to walk up this mountain. And what it symbolizes for me is this ability to ignite our inner flame, right? That's why I'm here. We all have this fire. We all have this inner flame, and we need to be able to create this safety for ourselves so that we can self-care, right? There is this importance to be able to take care of ourselves. We need to know who we are, and we need to be able to care for ourselves. And then from there, we can actually start to step into our own power, right? We can use tools that will help us to release our anger. There'll be tools that will help us to safely navigate how do we express this built up energy so that we can actually feel empowered to speak into the truth and not just be blowing our top and expressing it out. And when we can find this inner flame, all of a sudden what it does is it starts to radiate from the inside. It starts to really create this fire that's moving forward, and it starts to light the way, right? And we start to follow our soul purpose. And I truly believe that every man and woman, when we follow our soul purpose, that we are destined to make positive change in the world. That is our innate nature, is to improve the environment around us, right? And what I want to do today is to tune into what is your dream and to reignite that fire and then step into your power and make that a reality. Make this thing that's inside of you, this fire that you know is there, I know is there, you can feel it. And we're going to amplify that even more, that there is something here for you. So let me just quickly touch on who I am and how I got here. You know, my name is Jason Bart, and I'm an international facilitator and speaker around empowerment and embodiment and integration, because it's all well and good to do this stuff, but if we're not living this in our life, living this in our world, then what for? Why are we doing it if it's actually not expressed in our world? And what I've created is this reality now where I am traveling around the world and teaching this work that is so passionate in my heart, that is shifting people's lives. And that's what I love. I love the fact that I can be doing work that makes people go, wow, my life is no longer the same. And I can't even speak to the joy that that brings me. And it almost overwhelms me with tears right now, that idea that there are people that were feeling helpless and hopeless and now feel empowered and capable to step into the capacity that they have. And you know, I honor that. I honor the fact that I have done that, not to, you know, boast my own story and to make my ego big, but just to really honor the skills and the impact that I have already made in the world. And that feels good. It feels really, really good. And another thing that I got to say that feels good is I have the most amazing, open and honest relationship with my two daughters that are now 19 and 21. They have really grown into these beautiful, empowered women that are living their own lives, living their own design. And I feel blessed to call them my daughters. And you know, I have been able to really journey with people through their darkness and into the depth of what is underneath, which is underneath, which is underneath, because I've been there. And I stepped into this work after my divorce of 11 years, well, my marriage of 11 years. And then after the divorce, I stepped into quite a deep spiral of not knowing who am I, and creating this need to find out. So I started looking. I started lifting up the carpet to find out what was underneath there. I started opening up these doors that were locked away to find out what is inside there. What am I hiding from myself? And every time I find that my heart expands, my heart opens, and I lead more and more into my full capacity and my magnificence. And I went from being a yes man. I was very submissive in my marriage. I would just say yes, happy wife, happy life. I don't know if any of you out there have been married, and I really love the twist to that now, which is happy house, happy spouse, because it takes two, right? But I went from just wanting to make the people around me happy to really recognizing that the only way that I can make authentically the people around me happy is when I'm authentically following my truth and stepping into my power and stepping into life like that, and then sharing my fullness and my trueness. So my why, and I have this idea, this big picture vision, and I don't know if you've looked at these vision statements and mission statements for yourself, but for me, I want to create a world where ease harmonizes within, and that radiates the joy of our own genius, that we're in awe of this genius that is just moving inside of us and expressing through us. And we're not even doing it. We're a vessel for God. We're a vessel for life. We're a vessel for whatever it is that is inside of me that is destined to come out if I let it. And so how do I do that? I do that by creating and inspiring this creative spirit and holding a pillar of resonance, permission, and love, right? So what that means is I give you full permission to be you, full permission, whatever that looks like. All of you is welcome. All of you is welcome. And if you can feel that from a place of unconditional love, and you can feel this resonance, and you can feel my fire inside, and through that feel an invitation to allow your fire to be ignited, and then I witness and I support that, then what that does is just amplify it, and my light lights up your light, and your light lights mine, and also those around you, and we start to create this wave of light, this internal radiance, this expression of I am here. So this training today and over the next coming weeks, should you choose to accept it, is for you if you're not living your full life and you want to start saying yes to you. You want to start really feeling like I'm living my fullest life, right? And if you're tired of feeling a little bit mediocre and you want to live a life that's driven by your inner truth, this thing that helps you to make choices that bring enrichment and aliveness into your being, then that's what we're talking about. And if you're ready to be surrounded by brothers and sisters and tribe like you that are ready to cultivate into this inner flame and step into the next phase of living, which is really empowering one another to step into our power, then that's what this is all about, right? Now, this training is definitely not for you if you don't want to take any responsibility for your own life and you just want to accept the crumbs that are given and just whatever is left over is what I'm going to take. If that's what you want to do, then this training is not for you. If you don't want to participate in your own rescue and you just want to be saved, I am not your savior. I am not your guru. I am not here to lift you up and hold you up only to one day put you down and then you have resentment because I gave you this false hope, right? That's not what I'm here for. But I'm here to help you look at things a different way, help you look at yourself, help you to look at your surroundings so that you are activated, that you are stepping into your power, okay? And if you want to keep doing it by yourself and then trying and trying and trying and then going, oh, I can't do this anymore, and trying and trying and trying and I can't do this anymore, then this is not for you either, because this is about creating community and this is about bringing people together so that we can really step into our full power as a tribe. So my goal today is to show you how in one moment of connection to your inner fire, how that can create change in the direction of your life for the better forever, just by tuning into one thing that we're going to speak about. And you don't need any previous experience in meditation or tantra or anything else to benefit from this, because I'm going to take you on a little journey and you're going to witness this all on your own. And this is all so that you can finally live a life that feels like it's been created from your destiny, that I am here. I truly believe that a lot of our life is predetermined. It's a question of, do we allow it? Do we step out of the way and actually watch it and play with it? Or do we try and herd cats or push the river, right? And go, no, we're not going that way, universe. We need to go the way that I want to go. Which is just ridiculous. And something that I used to do. And something that a lot of people do. Trying to define against our own true destiny what it's supposed to look like. So the things we're going to look at today is, first of all, that all of us have this inner flame. And we're going to touch on that. The second thing we're going to talk about is how honoring you helps you to create this living life on your terms, right? How honoring you changes this whole aspect of I need to fit in to when I am running from the inside out. It's almost like life is pulling you as opposed to you pushing it. And one of the beautiful analogies that I have, and you might have seen this in a cartoon, is like people pushing on this door and they're like pushing and pushing and they're putting so much in, they're putting so much weight into it. And then they realize that they actually just need to turn the knob and pull it open, right? That sometimes we need to step back, create some space so that we can step through, as opposed to pushing and leaning against it. Right? And also, I want you to understand how activating yourself and this power, it's going to allow you to weather the storms of life and help you to win the day, right? And what that means is to help you be able to have a greater capacity to express your truth. So let's get started. Now, all of us, we all have this inner flame, right? And I want to talk about what this looks like. So everybody just closing your eyes for a moment and imagine breath just moving down. We're just going to take a few breaths together. So breathing in through the nose, deep into your belly, and out through the mouth. And see if you can give yourself permission to make some sound. We're going to do 3 of these. One more. And keeping the eyes closed, I want you to tune into this breath, allowing this energy to breathe through your being as you breathe deep into your belly. And I'd like you to breathe down now through your feet, down your legs, down past your knees and your calves and your feet, and down your heels and deep into the earth. Breathing up from your heels. Breathing in. You are everything you need. Allowing sound to be your deepest resonance in your being. Hearing the sounds around you, the sound of the ocean in this music, and the winds. Just breathing and letting out a sound on your exhale. And as you're breathing, allowing this breath and the sensation of your energy to ground down through the earth. And imagining that your energy is going deep through the floor, through the foundations of the ground, of the home, and the soil, going deeper through this rich nutrients. Continuing to breathe, but imagining that you're just going deeper and deeper and deeper. And you're penetrating through the different layers of the earth, through the crust, through this layer of hard rock, through this molten magma, and finding this inner core, this inner sun within the earth. And as you breathe down through your heel, deep into the earth, I want you to imagine that as you reach this inner sun inside of the earth, that is then connected energetically to our solar sun. And now we can imagine that this sun is penetrating from above, coming down, radiating its heat from above down, and that there is this toroidal energy that is moving down through our body to the center of the earth, to the fire at the center of the earth, to the fire of our sun. And then from the fire of the sun, we're breathing it back in and imagining not only that it's going in one direction, but it's in all directions, above to below, through our feet, even up behind us, extending up and out, really feeling our full radiance, our full spectrum around us. That energy is coming from our crown, from the top of our head, down our spine, golden light that is penetrating this energetic being from our sun, through our being, through the earth, into the core of the earth, and into the sun once again. And feeling this connection, not only to the earth, not only to our energetic being, but also to our solar system. And witnessing this energy that is happening and rotating all around us. And as this light expands and extends down through our belly, from the crown of our head down our spine, as it goes down into our belly, I want you to imagine that there is this hearth, this bed of the fireplace at your pelvic floor. And I want you to just tighten your pelvic floor, your PC muscles, which is just between your genitals and your anus, and just tightening that muscle and creating this solid foundation, creating this deep, solid base for our fire. And as this energy rotates, coming from our feet down now through the earth, into the center of the earth and back up through the sun and down, and as it comes down, I want you to imagine that every time this energy is passing through your being, that it's igniting your fire deeper and richer, and you're starting to light up at this base, held by your PC muscles, held by your pelvic floor, held by your core muscles, tightening that, strengthening your being, holding your posture. And if you're standing, straightening your body. If you're sitting, straightening up your spine. If you're lying down, coming into a sitting or standing position so that you can really feel the strength of this hearth, this fireplace, this bed for your fire. And this fire starts to build. This fire starts to build within your being. This fire starts to build within your belly, and allowing it to tickle now. It's allowing the flickering of the flame to start tickling the inside of your belly. Maybe it's reaching up to your belly button and feeling a crackling, and the flames starting to sparkle and really light up this inside. Maybe you can start to feel this radiance on the inside starting to penetrate and light up your body. Maybe you want to start to move your body. And breath, sound, and movement are the core elements to start moving energy and to start to release energy into your body. Keeping your breath deep and strong. Continuing to allow, as this sun is rotating, this energy field is rotating around your being, coming down your spine and lighting up your hearth even larger, and this fire is starting to build inside. Maybe now it's starting to tickle the bottom of your lungs, starting to expand in width and size and color, and you're starting to get some yellow burning in there. Maybe it's getting white hot in parts, and also maybe you're noticing that there is some soot that is burning. There is some of this residue that's on the inside that's starting to burn away some of this dross, this clugginess, this stuckness that we're trying to get rid of, that we want to expel out of our being, that we just want to let burn a little, just because we don't need it. We don't need that stuckness. Maybe you want to shake your body a little bit. Again, bringing breath, sound, and movement into your body, allowing yourself to expand, allowing your being to expand. Maybe you want to rotate your shoulders a little bit and really start to loosen up and expand your being. Maybe even stretching your arms out. And all the while, feeling this fire inside of you starting to light up, feeling this fire to expand, feeling this fire inside of you. Maybe it's now getting to the point where it's tickling the bottom of your heart. Warming your heart, softening this armor that's around your heart. Maybe you can feel it, this hardness, this stuckness that has been around your heart, protecting it, protecting your heart. And fair enough that it's needed to be protected because things have happened that it's needed to be protected by. So that's okay. That's okay. And here we are, giving our heart some love, giving our heart some heat, giving our heart this fire from within and allowing it to really soften, allowing this armor to soften. Take a deep breath into your heart and just let your heart expel. That feels good, doesn't it? Giving the body a little bit of a shake, allowing your body to... I feel grateful for the life that I live. I feel grateful for the body that I'm in. I feel grateful for all of the opportunities in life that I have, and I feel blessed. I feel blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am radiant. Feeling this fire inside, feeling it warm the back of your heart and then your whole back, around your ribs at the back and your shoulder blades, allowing your whole torso now to really start to warm up, moving your body a little bit so that you can feel this flame on the inside, you can feel this fire, you can feel alive. Can you feel that aliveness in your body? Can you feel that aliveness in your being? Can you feel it start to activate the throat? Maybe your fire is now building to the point where it's starting to tickle your throat and here we go. We're starting to activate our body now. We're starting to activate these different chakras, these power centers that are running through our being. We're starting to light up our torso. We're starting to light up our being, and we're opening our chimney now. Our throat is our chimney to express into the world. Just running your fingers over your throat, just allow it to be expressed. Maybe you want to let out some sounds. Maybe you need to cough or to yawn. All of you is welcome. All of you is welcome. You are magnificent. You are magnificent human beings, full of light, full of love, full of expression, and I'm so grateful that you're here. The world would not be the same if you were not here. So allow yourself to be seen. Allow your vibrancy to shine. Allow this vibrancy to be present in your being. Radiate your truth. You are magnificent. I am magnificent. We are magnificent human beings. And I'm so grateful for you. I am so grateful for you. Would not be the same without you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up our third eye, this part right here, just above our eyebrows, right at the center, and just imagine at 45 degrees it goes up, and imagining that we're looking at like the North Star, and there's this wormhole that goes from the back of our brain right through into this North Star that is our guide, this is our pathway into life, and just allow yourself to connect through this weaving energetic realm between your being, your physicality, and the no-thingness of imagination. You don't need to know. You can imagine life. You can create your life. We are the creators of our own life. We are the creators of our reality. What is it that I create? What is it that you create? What do you want to be in this world? How you want to be in this world? And why? Why do you want to be like that? What is it that is your gift? Feel that. Feel your North Star giving you this download of, I am experiencing my ultimate destiny. I can see it before me, and I can feel it lighting up this fire inside of me, giving this fire inside of me this resonant frequency that's radiating, resonating through my whole being, feeling it right down into the fire, this hearth that's holding it, my fire pit that holds my flame in strength and truth and power, and lights up my body, lights up my torso, softens my heart, expands my heart open. Opens this chimney, my throat, my voice, and allows me to see the infinite possibilities, and opening up the crown now. Opening up the crown to really receive all that is possible, all of these codes, all of this divine information that allows us to just know what is true for me, for you. Individually being aware of our own truth and honoring that. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is just what feels true for me right now, and acting from that. Acting from what feels alive, acting from what resonates within, acting from where I feel pulled to go in this world. And as that radiates, what I want you to do is I want you to feel this white light running from your crown, almost like this shaft of light that comes right down, deep into your being, deep from the heavens above, shining down your spine in a column and going deep into the earth and connecting you through to this central sun, and this white light connecting you to life, connecting you to God, connecting you to Source, connecting you to the great Creator that is allowing all of this to be. Whatever language you may prefer to use to call that. And as you stand in this white beam of light, I want you to imagine that there is a reflector just near your belly. And just above your belly button, there is almost like this camera lens, like the reflector light. And this is your essence, this is your filter, this is your projector. You're going to angle this out into the world through your belly, through your will, through your desire. And your fire, your light is going to project out into the world, almost like a lighthouse. And this is your light, your radiance. And you just glow. You make the world around you glow. You can feel it light up around you. You can feel the people around you light up. You can feel the people around you expanding through your radiance. Feels good, doesn't it? This is your fire. This is your power. This is your radiance. This is your essence. This is your truth. And this is what we tap into deeply over 7 weeks, to really harness this, to create a furnace around this, to make it safe, to make it strong, to really deepen it with a daily practice, with integrated systems, with workbooks. There are so many elements that we get to touch on like this, and it's a beautiful, beautiful experience to share together. Bringing this all back now, bringing this radiance of you back into this world, back into this room, back into this physical body, and allowing all of this to glow in every cell of your being. Let it run through your arms, let it run through your legs, run through every single cell in your body. Imagine it being pumped through your heart, through every cell in your body, and every cell now lighting up like a fire, feeling every part of you glowing, almost like you're a superhero, and your whole body is on fire. You are on fire. You are fire. Yes, you are. And what a blessing it is to see you shine. Thank you. Thank you for showing me you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for shining so bright. I feel blessed to see you. I feel blessed. So blessed to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being so brave to take that journey. Thank you for stepping in. Thank you for your power, your truth, for showing up for you, because that's what it's about. And now that we have this fire, we have this light, then the second insight is that this needs to be cared for. This inner flame, imagining that there is this bonfire that's going on inside of us. And there are going to be people that are going to want to come and take logs. It's like, oh, I need your light. Can you just light me up? Oh, I can see you're really bright right now. Can I take some of your fire? And they do. We allow them because we're so caring. We're such a yes person to the world that I just want to give and give and give and give, until all of a sudden there are no logs left on my fire. There are no logs left to light me up. And I feel depleted again. I feel weak. I feel disempowered. Maybe I feel like a victim of what's happening in the world, and that the world is happening to me again, that the world is doing things to me instead of me being part of it, and the world actually doing things for me, right? And the biggest shift in this, I'll share once I have a little sip of water. The biggest shift in this is when we understand that boundaries are the important part of owning our fire, protecting our fire, and being of service. One of the most classic examples is when we're in an aeroplane and the gas masks drop. And we're told, put on our own mask first before we help another. Because otherwise we're going to be trying to help someone and we may not be able to. And because we didn't care for ourselves, now we both collapse. Whereas if we put on our own mask first and we care for ourselves, then we're more able, we have a greater capacity to be of support to another. We can more fully show up for another because we've cared for ourselves. All right. So let me tell you a little story. And this takes me back to 2011. I'd just been divorced. It was really painful. It was a really, really painful time for me. After 11 years of really beautiful marriage, if we spend more time together, you'll learn that when I choose to do something, I choose to go all in. And it was like that with our marriage. And it was also like that with our divorce. And it was a very quick transition between marriage and divorce. And so I had this feeling of, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with this. I don't know how to deal with this. And I was feeling lost, man. I was feeling lost. I was feeling confused. I was feeling deeply, deeply hopeless that I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to be a partner. I wasn't good enough to be a dad. And I didn't know what to do. And it was only when I started setting boundaries around what is it that I need? What is it that actually allows me to honor my truth? That I actually started to build this foundation of my fire, to build this foundation of my truth, to build this foundation of my inner flame. And the biggest key to this was me learning to say yes to me. When I started saying yes to me and learning that I am worth saying yes to, and I want everyone on this call to take this one nugget away. If nothing else, this is the number one thing I want you to understand is you are worthy of saying yes to. Say it. I am worthy of saying yes to. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy of saying yes to. I am the most important person in my world. The most. And that goes for everyone. And when we can all come from that place, then we can be of the greatest service. That doesn't mean we need to be narcissistic and that we don't need to take the consideration. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I am saying is that we need to put on our own mask first. And when I could start saying yes to me, then I could start listening to what is it that I want. And then from that place, choosing, I want to do this for you, or I don't want to be part of this. And another important piece is that when this shift takes place and you start to see how important you are in your own life, that there is this opportunity to start living your best life, right? And then that's when you start to have the greatest impact. That's when you start to really step into the world and shine, because you are radiant, you are vibrant, you are having an impact. And that's exciting. So how do we take action? We start action taking through making sure that we tune into this fire and go, okay, when I do this action, is this activating my fire or is this depleting my fire? And we can do that actually as a unique experience of tuning in before we make decisions and go, all right, if I go out with this person, or if I do this activity, or if I start this business, what happens to my flame inside? What is activated? Or what is depleted and smothered through doing that? And that is this beautiful indicator. Just take a breath into that. Take a breath into this idea of I am worthy. And when I say yes to me, I can truly step into my power. Feels good. Feels really good. And how do I activate myself so that I can weather the storms of life and win the day? So there are a few things that we can do. And one of the most powerful ways is when we've got these agitations, right? And then an agitation can be anger, an agitation can be frustration, an agitation could be sadness, an agitation could be fear. When that's alive, we don't want to react from that. We don't want to let whatever is alive in our brain blurt out. And all of this charge that's inside of us be projected and vomit diarrhea, verbal diarrhea onto these people in front of us, right? We want to take responsibility. And this is more and more important as we step more and more into our power. We need to own our power. And as we have more power, we have a greater ability to respond. We have a greater capacity to respond. And because we have a greater ability to respond, we have a greater response ability. We need to take more care because, let's say if you are a 5-year-old kid and you want to punch someone, and you want to punch them in the belly as hard as you can. I reckon if a 5-year-old punched me as hard as they could, I would be able to manage that. If they punched me in the belly and I held my stomach, I reckon I could handle that, right? But let's say Mike Tyson said, I want to punch you in the belly, and he wanted to punch me as hard as he could. I wouldn't be able to withstand that, right? That would cause harm, even though it's the same action, which is punching. But the ability, the capacity is different. And through that greater capacity, there's a greater responsibility. And we need to make sure that we're not doing harm. And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have the skills to self-soothe, that we know how to take care of ourselves. And there are multiple benefits of this. And one of the main benefits is that when we do respond, that we don't have all of this charge, all of this baggage, all of this, built up energy that when something like sits on top, it just goes, blah! Or that last little straw that breaks the camel's back, right? And you think, wow, that was just a little straw. I didn't do much. But because there was all of this other weight behind it already, it comes out so much stronger. And these are called emotional release tools. And there's a range of these that I go through in depth in the first week of our training so that we get to use these tools and go deep into it. But I'm just going to show you one, which is a hand scream. And what that means is you put your hand over your mouth and go, and you shake from your hips, because a lot of the tension is actually in our hips. And when we get frustrated and angry and we just want to yell at someone, and we can walk away and express how frustrated we are. Through that, we can release all of this extra tension, right? And then be able to deliver the message without the same charge, without the same power. We can actually just say what I feel, what I need, and what that will give me, which is a beautiful way of framing what it is that you need. Because we are fully entitled to ask for what we need. We're not entitled to expect someone else to give it to us. And this is the most important piece when we get deep into boundaries, which we do in the second week, is that our boundary isn't about expecting other people to do certain things, to act in certain ways. Our boundary is what we accept. What do we accept in our world? That's what's important. And that's where our boundaries are. And that's what allows us to really step into how can we make change in our world. We first of all recognize that we have this inner flame. We have this inner fire. We have this ability to light up our own world. Insight one. And then from there, we can really start to honor ourselves, honor our boundaries, honor our truth, and see, is this amplifying my flame, or is this smothering my flame? If I provide this to you, will it light you up and allow my flame to continue? Or will it just completely diminish and smother my flame? And how can we, with this extended capacity, extended power, take responsibility so that we can really be gentle with the world, even though we have incredible power? So I don't want you to just take my word for it when we're talking about, does this stuff work? I want to play this video for you.
Hello, alchemists. I've had a really good past 14 weeks as I've actually done 2 of Jason's reactivated men. The first and the second, so they're kind of building courses, but absolutely amazing to be part of the crew. I came into this in a very hard time of my life, probably the hardest points of my life, where there's been the most conflict and the most to deal with and make my way through. And I really needed this at the time. I needed a group of fellow men, people I could talk to, as I was at the stage where I didn't really have anyone anymore, just my household family, and that was literally 3 women. So women, girls, whatever age you want to put that at, but 3 versus me. So having the men scenario here and having the 7 weeks to work on the different alignments of meditation, the different tools that come with the different chakras we're working on, and just everything has given me a sense of ability that I can do what I need to do in the world and continue onwards and upwards and becoming a better man overall for those I'm around and for myself ultimately, because making it for myself, I can make it better for everyone else. So Jason's amazing. Jason's tools are amazing. And the way we sharpen these tools is just absolutely down to earth, and there's no messing around, and straight to the point. It's beautiful. He's got a way with words that you only have to listen for a couple of minutes to understand how much passion Jason has for helping fellow men and women out as well. So, thank you, at the deepest of my heart, and my gratitude, Jason. It's been an amazing time. Thank you.
My name's Mark Bentley. I'm a Gene Keys ambassador and human design guide, and I've been working with people for over 10 years in helping them define what does it mean to live your genius. Now, I had the blessing to take part in Jason Bart's 7-week ReActivated Man program. And I thought I wanted to drop in and just leave a few words as a testimonial, just in case you're considering taking that journey as well, and to really encourage you to take that leap. You see, at the time, I'd received an invitation to take my work to the next level that would give me exposure to a much bigger audience. As you could imagine, that triggered a lot of self-worth issues that in turn led to a lot of self-sabotage happening. I found my energy, I was very lethargic, I was finding it very hard to get motivated, to pull together what I needed to do in order to take advantage of this opportunity. So it was magical when I got to take part in this 7-week program just in time, where each week we would gather together with other like-minded men who were ready to do the work, who were ready to step up and take radical self-responsibility for their own inner fire. And to be held in that space, just to be held in that space, was already incredibly empowering. And then Jason has this ability to be able to really feel into the energies that are in that group, in that space, and then navigate it through his many techniques, his wisdom that he's gathered over the ages, and through real tangible experience. You know, this is a man who has walked his talk, but he also has these guided meditations that are spectacular. The way within such a short period of time, he's able to help us drop in and really connect into our inner flame to get a tangible feeling for what it is, where it's at, and how we can gauge that. But then he was also able to take us deeper so that we can find out what's getting in the way of our flame from truly igniting, from truly burning brightly. Because in the end, if we want to be of service in the world, we need that flame burning so that we can have a full cup to offer from. So it was an absolute delight to spend those 7 weeks together. It was gritty at times. You know, we did the work, we went in there, and the friendships and the bonds that I made with the other men were incredible. You know, to truly feel seen and to really see others in their vulnerability and their strength, it was a game-changing experience. And so if you're in a position in your life where you feel that you have a greatness that you have to live up to, that there is so much more that you can experience in this human life, then I recommend jumping on. Get in touch with Jason, sign up, and take part in that 7-week journey. It will be a game changer.
Here is a couple more testimonials from women that I've worked with, but not in this program. As I mentioned, this is the first time I'm opening it up to women as well. But to give you an idea of what women are saying that have worked with me in the past, Jason Bart has the most incredible heart. His sessions cut right through the patterns and stories, straight to what your soul truly needs to hear to actually make shifts in your life. What's remarkable is that he sees that and gives you the guidance to meet that longing with your own authentic self-love and touch. A true angel in human form with a cheeky demeanor that lets you know all of you is fully seen and totally accepted. Highly recommended, said Chelsea Beggs. And Layla Akadri said, Jason has a natural and highly trained gift. He is an impeccable guide. Whether it's because I've hit a dead end in life or because my fears and unconscious patterns are running wild, he is always a crystalline reflector to help me understand. And what's best, move forward with grace. I am a coach and support to many, and today I can say a leadership role requires lots of powerful help. And if you're looking for someone that can help you shine brighter, then you allow yourself to. If you want a mentor that knows what's up inside of human emotion and the human mind, then I recommend you check out Jason Bart. I am forever grateful for this man. And what will your story be? What will you say at the end of this? At the end of these 7 weeks, should you choose to join them? So, will you be like me, going from a yes man to an empowered man, or from a yes woman to an empowered woman? And we're talking 7 weeks, 49 days. And these are the kind of impacts that people are having. And if you are ready to hear more, then just drop a 1 in the chat so that I know that you're ready to go. And let me run through what you're going to get. So over the 7 weeks, we're going to be having 2-hour group calls every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sydney time. We will be doing, you will also, within the 7-week period, you get 3 30-minute one-on-one calls, which are check-in calls. You can use them to say, look, Jason, I'm about to go into a meeting. I've got a perspective, or I'm stuck on this matter. I haven't been able to get through it. I need a perspective, right? There's also weekly workbooks. So at the end of every call, there is a workbook with exercises to help you deepen your practice and to integrate what we've just discussed. There's also very unique welcome to the gene keys in the middle. So we work for 3 weeks together, and then we have a very, very special guest that comes in and talks to us about gene keys, which is one of my greatest tools that I've used to help my brain understand what's going on in my emotional body. And there's also an incredible private community where we get to share what's alive for us every day. Without comment, we can support each other, but this isn't a dialogue. This is just a place where you can express. There is also a WhatsApp group that is specific to our cohort that's going to be running through. And you'll also, within the 7 weeks, get a 90-minute one-on-one online session with me to dive deep into some of the main blocks that might be alive within your body about activating your flame, or anything you like. But generally, it's best to keep it on tune, on track, and to do these at the start of the 7 weeks so that you get to really experience the benefits of that as we roll on. So all of that has a value of $8,782. However, I have got a very, very special price for you today, which is $797. So that $797 will get you 7 weekly calls, 2 hours each, 7 workbooks, 3 30-minute phone calls, a 90-minute phone call, this community group, Gene Keys Insight, a WhatsApp group with feedback so you can ask questions there at any time and get a response within 24 to 48 hours from me as well. There is a lot of care, there is a lot of value here because I want people to be radiating. This is so important. This is like core value work for me. And I want to make it readily available. So there is also payment plans. You can do this $200 a week over 4 weeks. So you only pay $3 more and you get to pay it over 4 weeks. All right. And I will put a link to this in the chat right now so that you've got first access to the call. Here we go. Let me just, I'm going to have to stop it for a moment so I can put the share in here. There you go. There is the link. And let me share again. Here we go. All right. And so the 7-week program will be running from next week, which is April 3rd, until May 15. And I just want to cover some of the frequently asked questions. So the cost. Look, at $797, I understand that for some people that's a lot of money. And at the same time, for what you get 90 minutes one-on-one. That's normally $800. You get 7 times 2 hours with me in the group. You get workbooks. You get one-on-one sessions with me in 30 minutes so that we can cover any details. So look, there is some investment and there is a bit of skin that needs to be in the game. If you're wanting to step into transmuting your life into a greater level of radiance, you need to have some skin in the game. This isn't going to come for free. I'm not going to do this on my own. You need to step up. But I've made it incredibly affordable so that you get the value and can change lives and we can pay it forward. Can I just do part of this? And no, you're either in or you're not. So if you can't do the 7 weeks, now saying that, everything will be recorded. And if there are 1 or 2 weeks, something comes up and you're unable to make it, you will get access to the replay for that week. But if you're like, oh, I can only do the last 3 weeks or something, then that's not going to work. Okay? You really need to make a commitment to yourself that you want to show up for the next 7 weeks to change your world around and step into your radiance and really step into this new design of your life. How do I know if this is going to work? Well, there is only one way to find out if it's going to work for you, and that is to do it. And I've shared with you a number of testimonials. I can share you more. There are more on the website that speak to the testimonials of men that have gone through this program and women that have worked with me in the past. This is my passion. This is what I'll be doing when I'm 80 years old. This is what I will be doing for a long, long time. So if you're wanting to step in and take advantage of this, Wednesdays is the only day that I'm doing at the moment. I have had programs on other days, but today this program is happening on Wednesdays starting next week. So before we close, I just want to give you guys a recap, and that is, for 7 weeks, you will get reactivated flame calls. So we'll be doing group calls with the whole team every Wednesday from 7 till 9. That is Sydney time. So when daylight savings shifts, I think it might even be shifting before we start, so that it'll be 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, 5 till 7 on the West Coast, and 7 till 9 on the East Coast. We will have 3 30-minute one-on-one calls. You get the 7 weekly workbooks. You get the Gene Keys introduction. You get access to the private community, and you get the private coaching session, 90-minute one-on-one with me as well. So all of that, like I mentioned, is $8,782 in value. And for today, that offer is $797. So go to the link that is available in the chat, and you will also be receiving an email tomorrow with some follow-up information that will have the link in there as well, and also access to the replay tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining me, and I'm very, very grateful, and I hope to see you in the program next week. Thanks very much.